this important. Manda wore her heart on her sleeve. Now, that's an old expression. Here's what it means to me. That is when you give your love, your trust, your devotion, perhaps your respect to someone else before that someone else has begun to earn it from you. Those are important qualities: love, trust, respect, devotion. I hope all of you have enough of a positive sense about yourself that you would demand that someone earn those things from you and not just give them away like Manda did. So what's the big deal? So Manda wore her heart on her sleeve. Well, the big deal about it is this. It made Manda more susceptible to being manipulated. I always felt like an idiot when someone had manipulated me into doing something that I really didn't feel comfortable with doing. I want to give you a quick 4-page letter to read through it pretty fast here. And this is a middle school girl who heard me tell Manda's story. And she's writing about manipulation by, girls, a boyfriend. So we're going to be talking about some boyfriend stuff here. Oh yeah. Guys, this is important for you to hear as well. Okay, she heard me tell Manda's story, and she writes, "It's very unfortunate what happened to your daughter, and I'm very sorry. I want you to know that Manda's story opened my eyes, though. Last year in 7th grade, I started becoming really close to this guy, and we finally started dating. It was like, wow, life is great. I got my first boyfriend and my first kiss." Yes, other people remember their first kiss here too. We started hanging out more, and he invited me to his house, and of course I said yes, but I told my parents I was going where, girls? Girlfriend's house. When I got there, everything was fine. He was teaching me how to play the drums, and then some of our friends started arriving. Later, he went to his room and came back with some pot and asked if I wanted some. And I remember coming up with some lame excuse like, "Oh, I'm getting a physical tomorrow for soccer, so I can't." He just said, "Oh, next time you come over, you can have some." And I said, "Yeah, of course," like I actually wanted to, and like I'd done it before. Later, he asked me to come over again, and he said he had something special for me. I was pretty excited. When I got to his house, he pulled out a needle and some other stuff. I didn't know what it was at the time, and later on, I found out it was heroin. He showed me how to shoot it in his arm, and then he handed me the needle and told me it was my turn. Yikes. I hesitated for a second, she writes. What is she doing during that second? She's thinking about it. This is huge. She slams on the mental brakes. This is a boy that she apparently has some feelings about, and she wants to please him. But hey, he's crossed the line. I got up and pretended to use the bathroom. Now, I'm going to take a little time out here and tell you all, first of all, personally, I love the bathroom. Okay? And I'm sure all of you do, too. But this was a place of refuge for this girl. She didn't know what to do, how to act, where to go, what to say. She's creeped out. She doesn't know. So finally she thinks of the bathroom. So if you're in any kind of situation that just creeps you out, doesn't have to be drug-related or not, one little tip for you. I will give you the 3 most powerful words on earth that will get you into the bathroom and allow you to think things through. They are, I gotta pee. All right? Then you can do what you need to do, and then you think it through, call mom and dad, whatever you want to do. Okay. I got up and pretended to use the bathroom, and I came back and told him that I felt sick, and that now wouldn't be a good time. So she feigns illness. Girls, I'm sorry I have to read this next part of the letter to you. I didn't think guys still said this, but they do. Guys, you'll hear the reaction here and you will understand. Then he said, "If you love me." girls. There is more coming here. If you love me and want to stay my girlfriend. Whoa. All right. You'll do it. I looked at him. I told him I was in 7th grade. I didn't love anybody, and I walked out. This is a girl that will not be manipulated by anybody. The next few days we did not talk. Ooh, what a shock that was, huh? And he finally dumped me. He hasn't given up though. Ever since then, he's been asking me to do it, saying it will help me stop feeling so sad all the time. See how he's getting a little more sophisticated here? I've actually been thinking about breaking down and saying yes until you came in and talked to us. When you started telling Manda's story, it made me think really hard about how my dreams of being a journalist could be destroyed, and that my life with soccer would just disappear. And then I thought of my family. What if something happened to me? My little sister's best friend would be gone, and my parents probably wouldn't be able to handle it. Manda's story has changed my life. If it wasn't for it, I would have gone home one day this week, called my friend, and told him that I wanted to do it. To think that something that happened to Manda could happen to me really scared me and made me promise myself I would never do anything that insane. This girl is fantastic. I've never met her. If I ever do, I'm going to give her a world-class hug. She's got the #1 weapon against manipulation, her brain. She knows how to do it, how to use it. The other thing she's got is guts. Brains are good. Guts are good. Brains and guts together. Probably the strongest protective factor against that beast in Manda's poem that there is. She's fantastic. Okay, what else? Let's talk about details here. Manda graduated from Valparaiso High School in 1999. I wanted her to go away to school that following fall, to college, like I had. That's where I met Manda's mom at Tupelo University. And, but no, Manda did not want to go away to school. I'm after, Manda, please, let's go. I think this is the greatest thing for you. Finally it comes up. Girls, what would keep Manda around the area? Oh, a boyfriend, of course. Tears down her eyes as we're talking. Dad, if I go to school, I'll lose him. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, good. So she hangs around, she's got her boyfriend. Finally, the next school year that rolls around, she enrolls at Purdue North Central over in Westville, Indiana. And the first semester is great. The second semester, her grades are in the dumpster because now she's got a boyfriend by the name of Chris. And Chris looks fine, he seems to act fine, but Chris is struggling with his addiction to heroin. And Manda is trying to help him. And she's driving him to court. She's trying to keep an eye on him. She's doing just about everything for him except she's not doing anything for herself. And she has a couple of incompletes, and her second semester at Purdue is horrible. During this time, Chris introduces Manda to her last and worst boyfriend. And there's this transition from Chris to Manda's last boyfriend. His name is Daniel. Girls, I don't know how Manda did it, but every time she had a not-so-good boyfriend, the next one was worse than the last one. How do you do that? Aren't you supposed to upgrade, get a better one the next time? Huh? So Daniel, within 3 weeks of being with Daniel, she was using heroin by injection into her veins. Daniel was just like the guy in the letter. Only Manda was nothing like the girl in the letter. So, how hard is it then for Daniel to convince Manda to drop out of school entirely the next year once he has her addicted to heroin, and now he can manipulate her because he's a small-time heroin dealer and the only supplier of heroin for her. She's like a marionette on strings. He can control her any way he wants to. This was the start of a horrible time in Manda's life. Almost all of Manda's life was great and wonderful and joyful until Daniel. So Daniel had a much better career choice for Manda. Gee, Manda, why go away to school and become a writer, become an artist, or become your big dream in life, a marine biologist? When you can hook up with me, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Cal City, Illinois, and we're going to sign up over there as Kirby Vacuum Cleaner salesman. How do you make your career by doing that? But that's what made sense once Daniel had facilitated Manda's addiction. I want you to also understand that between cigarettes here and heroin over here, there were a lot of other chemicals, especially from age 16 to age 20 for Manda. Like what? Weed, you already mentioned that. Alcohol, LSD, coke, and probably ecstasy. So there was a lot of stuff, maybe even more than that, but those are the ones I'm pretty sure about. So they're running around all over the place trying to sell these vacuum cleaners up in northwest Indiana, northeastern Illinois. And during their entire vacuum cleaning sales career, they sold one vacuum cleaner, and that was it. And I was not the guy that bought it. All right, so it was a miserable winter from 2001 on to 2002. And I began to see, and Manda's mom began to see, very significant changes with Manda. For one thing, there was a loss of joy in Manda's life, and this was a joyful girl. Manda and I used to like to play gags on each other. Like what? Well, Manda might find a picture of me in the snapshots, and she would carefully trim my head out of the snapshot, but she would always pick a picture where I had an especially goofy look on my face. And I would open up my drawer to get out a pair of socks in the morning, and there would be that little head of mine staring up at me with this goofy look. And I thought that was pretty funny, but I thought it'd be even funnier if I didn't say anything about it, and I hid the picture for her to find. So the next morning, she'd flip open her makeup case, and she'd find that picture in there. And then the next day, I'd find it tucked up in the corner of one of the mirrors that I used. Back and forth we went with this stupid, silly little game that meant so much to us because this was an expression of love from daughter to dad and from dad to daughter. And the beast of her addiction snuffed that joy out completely.